One comment I make year after year is just how big the industry is getting. The automation is obviously here. I went to try to go see about pre-roll automation. It's something that I've been into for a long time. One of the things I got into the industry was to develop a pre-roll machine, and now they're all there. There's all of these people kind of copying one another and doing the same thing. Pre-roll kind of started from the knockbox Futurola. This is the first version of automation, putting that in air quotes, but it's just a terrible product overall. Now there's huge equipment, big machinery, and it's a couple $100,000. So price point for that plastic knockbox that wouldn't pass any kind of certifications or scrutiny is $4,500. And so that seems like a lot until you price out these other joint rolling machines that are like $250,000 or more. And then if you want the packaging machine on one side of it, and just adds more to the price. So as I'm looking at equipment, I run into the Dab Stars team. That's Jess and Jonah Tacoma, and this is a joint. So he's showing me this joint, and this is a Predator, like $1,500 homie discount joint that Jonah ended up doing at the Dream Factory. Like I said, a lot of pre-rolls. This whole thing, this machine was making pre-rolls and throwing it in the joint jar. They're huge, though. This is like a 7 or 8 foot tall machine, 4 feet wide, and all pretty much designed from the Hephaestus. That was a model that came out of Israel in like 2015 or even earlier, and a lot of these machines basically just copied that. And so they're everywhere. They're all doing pretty much the same thing. They're all fairly identical. And they're all kind of unique. I did see one machine that said no pictures, no photos, whatever. I didn't see it until I was done taking a picture and taking photos. But come on, y'all, like you stole the idea from somebody else, and now you're trying to like prevent other people from stealing your idea. So kind of funny, but nonetheless, it's out there. It's ubiquitous. It's automation is there, and it's even mobile processing. So these just more machines from different manufacturers. This one is from Green Bros, and is very similar, with the exception that this will do infusions. I'm not sure how well it does infusions. I'm still kind of skeptical about just jamming a needle through the middle and then seeing what happens. But these machines are coming in all shapes and sizes and different, costs. Apex, I think this one is fairly inexpensive by comparison. I'm just not sure that it's got, I don't know, running it nonstop, how well it's going to do. Any of these pre-rolled machines for that matter. They're not small, but they don't need to be calibrated as much. If you look at like traditional tobacco machines, those things need to be calibrated quite frequently. So this is another machine that they're using a very, very light viscosity. They should probably be using like honey instead of something that looks more like oil. So again, we'll see if some of these infusions actually work. I don't think they will, because again, I don't think you could just jam a needle in there and hope for the best. It's I talked to Kyle of Roll Pros, who wants to homogenize it all, and so that's probably a better way. I did run into a group STM, a Sesh Technology machine, and they have an answer for the knockbox. So if you do want a tabletop, if you do want something small, this is the way to go. They have all of these different options. So you could use the same tray to fill it. It's got a vibration setting that'll kind of raise some of the impurities like seeds and stems, raises to the top. You kind of wipe that off. You use the same bin to then bring it over to a finishing table, and so that will not twist the tops but fold them in, make this nice, neat, cute little fold. And then you can bring that tray over, and it'll tell you the weights too for each specific one. If they're over or under, it'll give you exact measurements and weights. And so if you're under or over your compliance, you can just pull those. But looked fairly consistent. And so it's just got the STM's got like a neat little opportunity. I think this machine that we're seeing right now is maybe Infused. I can't remember. But you can look at STM or Sesh Technology machines. and they have a whole unique lineup, like small tabletop. If that's what you're into, if you're just a small producer and you don't need some of these bigger machines, those are a pretty decent option. Because a lot of these other ones get really expensive, like $200,000 to $400,000, and you're going to need some kind of maintenance on top of that, because at some point there's going to be, it's either electrostatic interaction or just the accumulation of trichomes and just the stickiness of the product is something that you're going to want to be aware of. So this is the PreRoller machine that I saw. And so they have several different options. You could machine will twist it and fill it and all of that. What I haven't seen it really is a grinder all the way through packaging. So you're gonna have to find something that's a grinder and not, your ice cube grinder, but like a real grinder. And people are still using humans for packaging, but eventually it'll all be done automatically. Here is the Roll Pro, or the Blackbird by Roll Pros. This is a cylindrical joint. It's the only one on the market that I'm aware of. They're you can make dog walkers like 1/4 gram all the way to 1 gram. I ended up bringing an ounce with me, and we rolled 28 fatties on this machine at a party, at an after party, and worked out really well. Handed them out. It was great. So they're going to be making ones that are blunt size. So I'm really excited for that. It's my guilty pleasure as a blunt. And these are great for mobile processing as well. Throw it in the back of a van, go to, producer processor, do your thing, and make your own business out of it. So this is some of the finished products. They use a roll of paper instead of pre-rolls, and is a great machine.
With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out.
Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.
Thanks for listening to today's show. To check out more great cannabis podcasts, go to podconnects.com. Here's a preview of one of our other shows.
Hi, it's Justin Benton, host of the Miracle Plant Podcast, where we discuss this miracle plant that goes by so many names and how it's helping people in so many extraordinary ways. So if you love this plant and you want to hear a story that tugs on those heartstrings and learn more about this plant, then head on over to the Miracle Plant Podcast. You'll be glad you did.